Have you ever been listening to French and noticed those extra little words that pop up with certain verbs? You know, words like se, me, or te. They might look tiny, but trust me, they are a huge deal. Today we're going to unlock the secret identity of these special verbs, which are called pronominal verbs. And it all starts with a phrase I bet you already know.
Think about the very first thing you learned to say, je m'appelle for my name is. But let's break that down for a second. Je means I, and me, which is short for me, also means, well, me or myself. So wait, are you literally saying I call myself? And if so, why? This little puzzle is our way in.
Well, the secret is these aren't your average everyday verbs. They have a hidden piece, a special component that acts like a built-in boomerang, and it changes absolutely everything.
This special kind of verb is called a pronominal verb, and really, all that means is it's a verb that comes with its own little sidekick pronoun. The whole job of that pronoun is to catch the action of the verb and throw it right back at the person doing it. It's a boomerang effect.
Let's look at a super clear example. Take the verb laver. By itself, it means to wash something else, like the car, the dog, you name it. But as soon as you add that little pronoun se to make se laver, that action boomerangs back. Now it means to wash oneself. Same verb, totally different meaning, all because of that little pronoun.
Now, of course, that little pronoun isn't always si. It has to change to match whoever's doing the action. So for I, it's me, for you, it's te, and so on. And here's a cool little shortcut. For nous and vous, the pronoun is just a repeat. Easy, right? The verb itself conjugates like you'd expect, though you'll see tiny spelling adjustments sometimes. Like that accent on lev, that's just to make sure it sounds right when you say it out loud.
Okay, so let's dive into the first of these three secret identities. I like to call this one the verb for me. Or, if you want the fancy grammar term, it's the reflexive use. This is the most straightforward one. The action you're doing loops right back onto you. The mirror is a perfect way to think about it. You're the one doing the looking, and you're the one being looked at. You are both the subject and the object of the verb. Simple as that.
And you know what? You use this all the time, probably without even realizing it. Just think about a typical morning. You get yourself up, je me lève. You wash yourself, je me lave. You dress yourself, je m'habille. Anytime you're doing something to yourself, you're using a reflexive verb. It's the language of your daily life.
All right, let's move on to the second identity. Now this one's a little more subtle, a little more clever. Let's call it the happens by itself verb. This is where a pronominal verb gives something a passive meaning, describing how something is generally done, almost like it just happens. Check out this classic example. La salade se mange froide. Who exactly is eating the salad? We have no idea. And you know what? It doesn't matter. The focus is not on a person doing the eating. The focus is completely on the salad and the fact that, as a general rule, it's eaten cold.
You can really see the difference here. When you say, on boit la bière, the sentence is about the people doing the drinking. But when you switch to la bière se boit, the beer suddenly becomes the star of the show. We're not talking about who's drinking it. We're stating a general truth about the beer itself. Beer is drunk.
And that brings us to our third and final secret identity, the verb for each other. This is what's called the reciprocal use, and it's all about actions that are mutual, that go back and forth.
This one just makes total sense when you think about it. For an action to be mutual, to happen to each other, you obviously need more than one person, right? That's why this form only ever shows up with plural subjects. We, you all, or they. It's all about that shared back and forth action.
You see this with all kinds of two-way interactions. Nous téléphonons doesn't mean we call ourselves, it means we call each other. Ils s'écrivent means they write to each other. From looking at one another to even fighting with each other, this reciprocal form perfectly captures that idea of a shared action.
So there we have it. We've unmasked all three secret identities. Let's put them all together now, just so we can see the whole picture nice and clearly.
So here they are, the three faces, side by side. First, you've got the reflexive, where the action is on yourself. I wash myself. Then there's the passive, where something is done as a general rule. Cheese is eaten with wine. And finally, the reciprocal, for things you do to each other. We talk to each other. It's the same basic structure, but it can do three completely different and really powerful things.
So what's the big takeaway here? Well, this is way more than just some dusty grammar rule. Learning to spot these three different faces of pronominal verbs, it's like someone just handed you a master key. It unlocks a much deeper, more natural understanding of how French is actually spoken every single day.
You've just cracked the code on a huge piece of the French language puzzle, and that brings you one giant step closer to not just speaking French, but really thinking in French. So the only question left is, with this new key in your hand, what secret should we go and unlock next?